Okay, let's share video. Welcome, colleagues, to this session, which is an expert interview on the theme of innovation as organizational change. Our interviewee is Dr. Domingos from Eduardo Mondlane University in Mozambique. And really, this came about from my participation and partnership with him in the EdTech UEM project. And what struck me was that by 2018, UEM had inadequate network and bandwidth, not such good ICT infrastructure, and staff who mostly lacked knowledge and skills needed for blended and online teaching. But 2018 also marked the start of the SIDA, Swedish International Development Agency funded EdTech UEM project under the leadership of Dr. Domingos. Dr. Domingos leads the Informatics Center at the university and provides strategic and operational leadership for EdTech UEM. He has a PhD from Aveiro University in Portugal. And I'm sure he'll tell us a lot more about his background and his career as we go through the interview. I've got a set of questions here, and I'm going to stop sharing the slides so that we can actually then hear from Dr. Domingos. So, would you like to take the microphone and switch on your video? And if you want,
yes.
I know that you could share a slide if you need to as we go through.
Yes, thank you, Tony.
So, Neves, the first question is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your work currently at Eduardo Mondlane University?
Yes, thank you for all and by inviting me to be part of this conversation interview. Talking about myself, I think Tony said briefly who I am, but I can say that I started some years ago having some kind of high interest on using technology with friends. I had a friend who was his friend was an employee from United Nations in Mozambique, and had some computer, and we are just like having a gaming, just for gaming for fun. And then we had internet access in Mozambique in 1992, and at that stage, I also be part of the first less than 100 people who had access to email. We used to have some kind of face-to-face sessions to know each other, who was texting from one to other about different issues. And then later on, we had access to internet themselves, and I also had interest of exploring the possibilities of using technology. And then I learned on programming in HTML to design websites. And 1 year after, I had access to university, where firstly I was trying to be part of informatics students, and I didn't manage to enter to informatics, but to geology, which is my background on graduation. But my final thesis was around modeling on 3D and bidimensional and three-dimensional sediments here in Mozambique. And I used a lot of informatics, and I learned a lot also with a lot of expertise from different parts of the world. And then I joined the university at the Informatics Center as web designer. And I did a lot of those first web pages And from that sense, I started seeing the potential of using really the skills and the possibilities of technology to share the knowledge, and started designing some, maybe I can say, initial kind of educational solutions to facilitate a teaching process here at Mondlane University, with collaboration with different partners. And I was part of information service and content development department, where I becoming the head of department. And from that side, I was really developing, supporting not just development of solutions, but also providing how can I say, short courses on how to use technology, how to put the content online, and so on. And university was also, as I said before, was the first point of access on the internet in Mozambique in general. And we become like a hub for different initiatives, including SchoolNet's initiative, where I also had some contacts at the beginning here, and also information and communication technology for development for rural area, working with community radios, community multimedia centers, telecenters, and so on. And that's why that's my first contact with technology. And later on, I had the possibility of doing my doctoral degree in multimedia in education. And from that sense, also I had contact with the Faculty of Education here, where I am teaching staff, and I linked my studies with the ecosystem of our university on how the university can be improved using educational technology, and mostly open source based solutions, and also social media, such as Facebook at the time, and also we used blogs, and Moodle, which we're still using it right now. And I had the possibility also of knowing a lot of people from different contexts. One of them is Tony, who is really a wonderful man to work with, and we later on managed to be involved in one of the first, maybe the first project at our university, which is public university in Mozambique, and largest university, and oldest university also. I'm talking about 40,000 students.
Neves, can I interrupt here briefly?
Sorry?
Can I interrupt here briefly? Because I noticed
yes,
there are lots of interesting little leaps in the story. So I know that you are working with a research institution in Portugal after your PhD. And a lot of people in that situation would have then said, my next career move is to a university or institute in the UK or the States. So what brought you back to UEM?
Yes, when I finalized my studies, the main reason I went back was to implement what was previously, I can say, doctoral studies, a program in our university. The universities have different campus, even here in Maputo, where is the main campus, the largest, biggest campus, but we have a lot of different campus, other ones located outside Maputo, around 200 kilometers away from here, 500 kilometers, 700 kilometers, and other ones are more than 1,200 kilometers, which is challenging when it comes about technology, ICT for teaching and learning, ICT in general. But I went back once because I think that the knowledge I had, and I was also involving some teaching staff as part of my PhD. My intention was to really operationalize where I learned in Portugal, but I also applied for some other possibility of being part of a research team based in Portugal again, in a research institute called Fraunhofer, which is German based, but they already have a branch in Portugal. There was a possibility of implementing a project, ICT for development project, which was to develop some mobile based solutions for potential usage in our context here in Mozambique. I applied, was an international call, and I applied. I also Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University of Port Elizabeth was identified. One of my colleague, I can say, was from Dutch University, and I was based in Portugal and working with students here in Mozambique remotely, and I was just up and down. But I had really the possibility of proceeding with that career in Portugal, working in different projects for different countries in Africa and South America. But my passion of doing something here, trying to do something here, really make me just come back. And I was, and once back, involved in different kind of activities. I was mostly teaching also for master degree students and ICT related issues. And then we started thinking on how can we do what we usually had in the past, was having ad hoc initiatives here at the university. Ad hoc in sense of having, we have already 17 faculties and schools, which is a lot. And we usually have small projects running in one faculty for 6 months or usually less than 1 year.
Okay.
And one of the possibility was to develop a structured program to the whole university to implement to the whole university. But the challenge was how to proceed without having some budget once the university is a state-based budget, and then comes the possibility of doing partnership. That's why I had some conversation with Tony, and we had an opportunity of having this EdTech project funded by Sweden. And yes, it's from maybe I can stop here before talking around EdTech related initiatives, Tony.
Thank you very much. You know, the first conversation I had with you was somewhere late 2015. It took till late 2018 for the project to get going. So how was the project started? What were its goals, and why did it take so long to get going?
Okay, let me see if I can just share one slide. Sorry, but yeah, well, we started, and the EdTech project, as Tony said, started also as part of a funding from SIDA Sweden and University of Cape Town as the main partner. The discussions we had before we start, because the funding was from Sweden, was to usually they promote collaboration between Swedish universities and in our case, Mozambican universities such as Eduardo Mondlane University. But our main reason to choose work with University of Cape Town was mostly because of the contest. The regional contest was really important for us, even for sustainability later on. We can really have, when we talk about technologies, the kind of challenges that the Swedish partners can be really relevant, but looking to what we have here in Africa, challenge related with let's say connectivity, digital literacy, and so on, is different when we talk around Africa and Sweden. And that was the main reason to justify the choosing of University of Cape Town. I'm trying to share my screen here, but I think let me just yeah, but okay, I can see, maybe I can talk. EduTech program already had two main objectives. The first one was to improve the institutional and research ICT infrastructure, which was really old. I think one of the last structured intervention on ICT investment was in 1999. But from 1999 until 2017, the university had different improvements and also new courses and new faculties and so on, and staff, even student number of students increased and so on. The needs are really high, and also the human capacity to develop the environment of using these technologies for research and teaching by the end of the project was supposed to be 2022, but because of the COVID, we have the extension. And the second objective was to strengthen and see this sustainable change through research, training, institutional development, and cooperation mechanisms. And in that sense, we developed a new educational technology unit, call it ICT for Education Research and Development Department, and Informatics Center, where I am here at main campus. And also we implemented a large-scale professional development activities for WAM research and lectures, and in collaboration with between UCT, SILT, and also Faculty of Education here internally. And we did upgrade of our ICT infrastructure, network related for the backbone themselves, but also at level of the units, improving the cabling, promoting more Wi-Fi hotspots, increasing the number of computers for computer labs, and some facilities such as for displays and video conferencing systems. And also we had colleagues who benefit from postgraduate training in educational technology at University of Cape Town, master degree, and also doctoral degree, and some of diploma PGDs from UCT, all those training sessions from UCT. And those were maybe shortly saying the areas the EduTech was focusing, and even with the involvement of University of Cape Town, but who was implementing really the activities here was the staff from the university, from the Faculty of Education, from Informatics Center, and also some colleagues from Faculty of Engineering. And we also developed a network of facilitators, those facilitators coming from the teaching staff for our university and also from different units here. And those are the main areas. And one of the approach that we also did was the EdTech program was implemented in all academic units, even the ones located in different provinces, as I said, universities in different parts, which was really a unique experience from the university. But we also managed to do on-job training at those places, identifying the really needs and also face it the challenge of locating local providers for the service, such as internet bandwidth, which is at province levels much expensive, and also the quality is not really good, much expensive than in Maputo. We don't have capacity to provide our bandwidth because the university also is working as an internet service provider, was the first internet service provider here in Mozambique.
Dr. Domingos, can I come in quickly?
Yes.
One of the things I've always noticed about what you're doing at UEM is that people are moving together, that it seems like there are strong agreements and understandings across the faculties with support from the highest level of leadership in the university. And I suspect that you were involved in a lot of alliance building work within UEM. Can you just say a little bit about that?
Yeah, I can say that one of the succeed maybe strategy was really to bring the leadership to be part of this movement of implementing it to the educational technology at large scale, I can say, in our university. But I think one of the reasons was when I was doing my doctoral studies, as I said also, I involved a lot of teaching staff, some with leading positions such as directors or deans of faculties. I worked with Dean of Faculty of Education, Dean of Faculty of Engineering, the Director for Pedagogical, Directorate here, the Director for Student Registration, and others. And I think that kind of approach facilitated later on with EdTech to having those people, some of those ones in different positions, to be aware of how, because some of those small initiatives from my doctoral degrees was still on in different ways, was still on when we started with EdTech. And we are lucky really because the leadership, I'm talking about RETA, we have now a new RETA, but even the previous one was really aware of using educational technology, and they supported us, and we had the possibility of presenting this at different sessions of our university boards and different boards that we have. And they really understood that one way of increasing the quality of education and also promoting efficiency and also having more people, because the university is also providing e-learning online, totally based online. Some courses are provided in that way. They saw that if we do more efforts on creating capacity, teaching our staff on how to use, providing those tools, relevant tools to the face-to-face teaching staff that can be the bridge later on to expand the e-learning for more people in Mozambique, because our university, the entrance is based on applying by examination process. Usually we used to have around 30,000 candidates only for 4,500 places. Means we know that a lot of people will be out of our university because there's no possibility of admitting all those people. But by having those facilities, by introducing a blended learning, which we already is a reality now with EdTech, that also will be part of the strategy of expanding the offer of the training courses online for more people in different parts of Mozambique, and even for internationalization, because we used to have a lot of people, Mozambicans, but also other ones who are coming from Portuguese-speaking countries, applying for the e-learning that we are implementing now in small scale, I can say. But that was, I think, from my point of view, is one of the reason which made the leadership to support us. The funding, just for context, the funding, the overall funding from Sweden was to around 22 projects inside university, different projects. And just for reference, EdTech was, in terms of funding, was the biggest project. Means also that can be the sign of having the awareness of the leadership, and also thanks Sweden, thanks University of Cape Town by collaborating with us. And that can be the sign of seeing the relevance of having educational technology running in our university. And also we, as part of EdTech project, we managed to include in our academic calendar the Teaching with Technology Day, which was a really new practice here. And first editions, we counted with the participation of the speakers from University of Cape Town, but our expectation from now is that this session will be, as other kind of activities from the university also will be part, and will be funded usually by state budget to promote best practice, to share different experience, where we already have some community now growing here at our university. And
Thank
also, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt here again. I know that you could just go for the whole of the time on stream of consciousness. And I also want to ask you something about how you think EdTech UEM has changed Eduardo Mondlane University.
Okay, good question, Tony. In my perspective, I think I already shared some of those changes. Like we already have in our academic calendar Teaching with Technology Day. That's, I think, is the sign of changing. And now also I saw that the planning process in our university, the different units, not just academic units, even the supporting units, were on including some ICT tools in rational way. Rational way is they are sometimes they usually talk to us and asking on which kind of tools can be used to improve this and that process. And I think one of the main reasons is because of different initiative, workshops, presentations, and some boarding meetings here at the university, board meetings here at the university. I think one of the results are those kind of signs that you can see. And also we are talking now because we already really have a lot of students who are not able to come to the university. As I said, there are a lot of discussions on expanding these e-learning courses offered from the university. I think also this is one of the signs that I can say. And also I think we build it the community when we implemented the EdTech. As I said, we had the possibility of providing similar conditions for all campus. With the challenge of the campus outside Maputo having a less bandwidth, but the bandwidth is there, and also the bandwidth is expensive. But now those schools and faculties, they are looking also for partnerships outside linked to this kind of educational technology. Some of the masters provided here now, the units and faculties are thinking on using these facilities to be part of the teaching process as a blending learning, not just for e-learning, even for the face-to-face teaching staff, teaching those approaches. And also we have much collaboration as a team, even if we are located in different units, which was not the case in the past. Means now with colleagues from Faculty of Education, Center for Academic Development, they are in process of adopting a lot of strategies implemented by EdTech as part of their offer, a regular offer inside university. And I think also we have a different way of management using those facilitated tools, ICT tools, because also of this EdTech. When we also evolved, as I said, our colleagues, the teaching staff, as part of when we organize those workshops, we provide them the opportunity of raising problems and proposing solutions on how this can be done, how can it be improved, and so on. I think this movement also now will be facilitated somehow by this Teaching with Technology Days. And also we had possibility of thinking regularly on new solutions with the unit that we created, the unit for ICT for teaching, research, and development. We have colleagues who are dealing with different initiatives. We already have now multimedia lab. We have a lot of teaching now, thinking on developing some MOOCs. We have a lot of teaching, looking for solutions. They really know where to go. We are now building this help desk to support the community under this unity. Also means now it's possible to get some solutions, and also we have even other when it talks to resources, other complementary projects or initiatives which also are supporting these educational technology initiatives, such as web servers, training, also now with Italy and so on. Means I think these EdTech initiatives really, and now also we are thinking on improving our instrument, regulatory instruments here, our policies and so on. We need to adjust them according to the trends. And when my rector used to travel to visit other universities abroad, usually send me an email or ask me to give him some points, relevant points related with the needs that we have, such as related with capacities or even for resources in terms of infrastructure and so on. I think those are the changes that can be shown here at Eduardo Mondlane University.
Muito obrigado, Dr. Neves Domingos. Thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for sharing so much about the process that got you there and about the difference that this project has made to Eduardo Mondlane University, even though the project isn't yet finished. I think there's ingredients there in what you've been telling us for a review article on the project. And I think there could be a lot of people interested in that. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for being willing to be interviewed in public at this conference.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you so much, Dr. Domingos. We really appreciate you being here today. And I hope that everyone has enjoyed listening to this conversation. But also, please know that later today during the lunch session, there will also be opportunity to speak to any of the presenters that have been here today. So given that I see it's a little over our time now, we'll have a short comfort break, but you're welcome to log in and out of the program again at 10:25 for the next presenters, either in Hall 1 or Hall 2. We'll have the 10th presentation in Hall 1, and in Hall 2, we'll continue with our How To series. Thanks, everyone.